Alrighty guys, it is Quad Man here today, and I'm bringing you another Dragon Ball discussion about Dragon Ball Super and the Tournament of Power. But as always, if you have not caught up to Dragon Ball Super episode 125, and if you do not want to be spoiled about a lot of the previous episodes about Dragon Ball Super, then I suggest that you tune off on this video, because this video will contain spoilers about what has been going on throughout the entire arc itself. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video. So guys, what do I want to talk to you guys about today? Well, I want to talk to you guys about Goku, and how initially, when we see Goku's stamina throughout the Tournament of Power, I didn't really have a problem with what they've been doing with Goku's stamina per se. But as the Tournament of Power has dragged on, I definitely think that there's been a growing problem with giving Goku this endless supply of energy. And I'm going to explain a lot of my points in my analysis as to why this has become a problem. And I also understand that a lot of you are going to comment in the comment section about Goku's stamina in a very promiscuous manner. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video. And I look forward to seeing all of your jokes in the comment section about Goku's stamina. Yes, I know guys, you're gonna make those jokes, I already know it. So, and now that I mentioned that, you're gonna make even more jokes because I said this. So let's get this video started. So, the first thing we have to do is we have to analyze where this problem originated. And where this problem began was right after Goku was fighting against Jiren for the first time, where Goku initially tapped into this Ultra Instinct state, fought against Jiren, ran out of energy, and was out, from what we presume. And the problem came into the fact that Goku, who was already fighting through a massive amount of the Tournament of Power already, just got into a big fight using an energy that he's never really used before, or a type of power he's never had before. And right after this, Goku in the very next few episodes gets into another major fight with both Kale, Caulifla, and Kefla. And I understand that a lot of you guys are going to point out the concept of cinematic time, meaning that what we see in these episodes is not really how long Goku is actually fighting, because obviously all of the fights that Goku has been fighting has been taking place over the course of 48 minutes, whereas theoretically to us, this has been going on for a very long time. I mean, think about it, like Dragon Ball, the Tournament of Power has gone on for like about 7 to 8 months now. So what we're seeing in terms of our time is very different from how long Goku's actually fighting, and I completely understand this concept, but we have to look at this from a more ingrained storytelling point from the very beginning of the Tournament of Power. So, going from the very beginning, Goku has been preserving his energy for the bigger battles. And because of this, this has led to a big problem, because of the fact that obviously there is a lot of tension that is being lost, because a lot of times Goku and Jiren, we know as the top two characters in the Tournament of Power, would be going up against inferior opponents, and we would already know the outcome before the fight even ends, because we know how strong they are and how much they're actually holding back. And one of the reasons why I made a video months ago talking about a big problem Dragon Ball Super quietly solved is the fact that when Goku ran out of energy against fighting Jiren, and then when Jiren went to meditate, Dragon Ball Super solved a big problem from what I was assuming, because of the fact that it was going to change the direction in the Tournament of Power and going into other characters fighting against each other, because with Goku being out and having to recover, and with Jiren meditating, now you can take the other weaker characters in the Tournament of Power and focus the story around them. But what they did was they gave Goku another big fight right after we all assumed that Goku was going to be taking a break. And what this also did from a storytelling point of view is that it just gave Goku overexposure, and then pointed out an even bigger flaw of showing how much of the stamina issue is actually being pointed out. And it also took Jiren out of the fight, but it also kept Goku involved. And from the very beginning, guys, Goku has been using Super Saiyan Blue since the start, where we see him and Vegeta getting into what we would presume as a massive energy clash between the trio de Daedras from Universe 9, as we see both Goku and Vegeta powering up as Super Saiyan Blues and firing out a final Kamehameha to wipe out the top 3 characters from Universe 9. So since the very beginning of the Tournament of Power, Goku's already been using a lot of energy. And throughout looking at other fights in between, like Goku fighting against, you know, Caulifla and Kale the first time, and then seeing Goku fighting against a lot of the other Pride Troopers, Goku's been using a lot of energy so far, so even before Goku fought against Jiren, who's been essentially relaxing and just observing the entire Tournament of Power before he even fought Goku, Goku was already at a stamina disadvantage. So how in the world would Goku be able to just bring out this energy against Kefla when in fact Goku is already using so much? And obviously it was stated in the series that Goku is trying to push himself into breaking his own limits into tapping into this energy, and I do think that that is a nice thing to say to give you an excuse of how Goku is tapping into this energy itself, but you also have to factor in how burnt out Goku already was from the first fight against Jiren. And I think the best way to explain this, guys, is to use a real life analogy. So I go to the gym, and I understand a lot of you guys are going to comment about the fact that this is fiction and you can't apply fiction to real life characters. I completely understand that phenomenon, guys. I understand it. But when you go to the gym, and let's say you're working out doing bench presses, right? And you put two 45s on both sides, so you're essentially just benching 90 pounds plus the bar, which is 45. So that's going to lead you to 135 pounds that you were benching, right? That's a pretty normal workout. And right after you push and give it your all to, work yourself out, regardless of if you have a spot or not, you're going to take like a minute or two off, sometimes 2 or 3 minutes to recover between each workout. What Dragon Ball Super did to screw this up is the fact that they said that Goku was recovering his energy as he was fighting against Kale and Caulifla. Now, guys, throughout the entire history of Dragon Ball, have you ever seen something remotely similar to that that actually made any sense? Never. There's never been a moment in Dragon Ball history where you could say Goku is recovering energy as he's fighting. That makes absolutely no sense at all. At all. You are recovering your energy as you're using energy. It's like saying you're driving a car and you're gaining gas as you're using gas. It doesn't make any sense. And even if you say Goku's just using his limits, you're just saying, well, we don't have an excuse to describe how Goku still continues to fight, so let's just say he keeps tapping into his inner power, which is the cheapest excuse that you could use. And when you factor in even bigger fights that Goku has had after this, we can't just factor in, guys, that after the fight with Kefla, Goku went into another big fight, albeit with some help from his friends, with Android 17, 18, Piccolo was already knocked out, Gohan, Vegeta and Frieza against Annie Raza and all of the Universe 3 robots. So right after Kefla, Goku goes into another big battle where he was utilizing Super Saiyan Blue again. So it's kind of getting to the point now where it's like, so Goku retrieves his energy, and I'm not ranting, guys, I'm just trying to be very honest here. Goku goes into another big fight with Annie Raza, uses a lot of energy again, and then now he's gonna fight against Jiren, Toppo, Dispo, all of these uber tier powerful characters. And the biggest part about all of this, guys, is that Goku is using Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken in an extended fashion. Now, yes, guys, I understand that the amount of time that Universe 7 has actually been fighting Universe 11 actually hasn't been that long, when you consider the fact that only a few minutes has actually passed in terms of technical time in the Dragon Ball world as to the start of Goku fighting against Universe 11 again. I completely understand that, and that goes back to the whole cinematic timing, guys. But you have to sit there and say to yourself, even with Goku mastering Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken better than he did before, Kaioken has always been a technique that Goku used in bursts. But from what we're seeing, Goku is just using Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken like it's just a normal transformation. And even if he's mastered this, do you understand the amount of energy that Goku has to be putting out to hold a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken just like a normal transformation? Like, the way that Goku and Vegeta are both just using their forms, it makes sense for Vegeta, who's kind of tapping into a new thing that has never been explained, as Dragon Ball Super never explains things. But the way that Goku's using an established transformation that we've known for years, that we know how it works just like it's a normal thing, doesn't make any sense to me, guys. So ultimately, guys, the bigger question in all of this comes to you. I obviously have my opinion on this. I obviously have my point of view on this. I obviously have a bigger issue than many of you guys would have with this. But I want you to really think about this logically and use the analogies I said of the gym and driving a car and say to yourself, does this Goku energy stamina stuff still honestly make sense to you? I think it's a horrible excuse to say that he's tapping into his power. It makes no sense. It has made no sense since the very beginning. And because of the fact that they've been doing this and relying so much on Goku, it creates even less tension for the Tournament of Power. And that has honestly been my honest thoughts for today. So with everything else said, please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys. Let me know your issues with Goku's stamina throughout the Tournament of Power.